Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the flaming hot grilled cheese burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you. Yes.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Really, guys?
What? Jackson's always has those game ready.
Let's go!
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Boise State football wide receiver Ben Ford. I've had to face some setbacks on the field this past season, but toughness isn't about staying down. It's about getting back up. I am proud to represent Lithia Ford of Boise, where you can find the largest selection of Ford trucks that are built tough and, like me, handle the hits and keep pushing forward. Come check out the incredible inventory and competitive pricing at Lithia Ford of Boise. And when you buy here, you're not just getting a truck, you're supporting Boise State athletics and Lithia Ford NIL partnerships. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
It's time for the Jacksons Postgame Show on Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a message on the Signature Roofing voice box at speakpipe.com/BNN. The BNN Postgame Show is presented by Jacksons, where you can get a 99-cent 16-ounce coffee or refill with Let's Go Rewards. Need snacks or a cold drink? Visit one of the 300 Jacksons locations today. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Now, let's go courtside to the Sun Cruiser Studios and join B.J. Rains for the Jacksons Postgame Show on Bronco Nation News.
Hey, how we doing, Bronco Nation? Man, I tried to go make it better, and I made it worse there. How we doing? Welcome to the Jacksons Postgame Show. My name is B.J. Rains. We got Nathan Carroll here as well. I'm going to dip out momentarily to go get into some postgame interviews with Coach Rice and some players. Nathan will carry this thing for the next 20 minutes or so, and then I'll jump back on. But 72-62 win for Boise State over the Wyoming Cowboys. The final 10 seconds was significant to some with the two free throws from Dylan Andrews. I love gambling, by the way. There was a couple guys over here. There was a guy down here in the front row. There's a meaningless three-pointer. Just, time has just stopped, sailing through the air. And then when it misses, Boise State wins by 10. And you see some, serious cheering going on. So you knew they must have been on the 8.5-point spread. But Boise State covers. They win by 10. And kind of like what we talked about in the pregame, they kind of just did what they needed to do tonight. It wasn't, overly impressive. It was a 8.5-point spread. You win by about that number, and some nice individual performances tonight with Dylan Andrews with 20 points, Fielder had 18, Buchanan 17, Meadow 10. That was all but 7 of Boise State's points tonight. You only had 2 with Keene, 2 for Keene, Parolin with 3, and then 2 for Aarons, and that was pretty much it. It was a top-heavy scoring tonight, but good to see Javen Buchanan, second game in a row. I mean, he goes for 17 and 6. Fielder 18 and 7, as I said, and even Andrew Meadow 3 assists tonight with his 10 points. But Dylan Andrews 6 of 6 up from the line again. Hit some some big shots, a couple of big back-to-back three-pointers. But again, I thought it was a nice win for Boise State, and looking forward to chatting about it on the post game. So No 75-cent fountain drinks tonight, unfortunately, Nathan. No 83-cent tacos tonight, unfortunately. But we got a nice crowd in here. Let's keep building this thing on YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Help us show up in the algorithms here. And, again, we're going to go talk to Coach Rice, some players. I'll jump back on here, but we want your comments, your questions, your thoughts. Are you buying back in? 2 wins in a row for this team. Are you buying in? Are you believing now? Or was this just Boise State beating 2 of the lower teams in the conference right now? What's your overall take on tonight's game? We want to hear it. We'll get to it. San Jose State does win by 6 tonight. Colorado State is up 3 all of a sudden on Fresno with 3 seconds to go there. So there are some interesting scores around the conference tonight. But overall, Nathan, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'll go do some interviews and come back in. Appreciate you letting me give a couple of initial thoughts. We'll have Abe Jackson joining us. We'll hear from Leon Rice. We'll hear from some players. But overall, I thought it was a pretty nice game for Boise State, a nice win, 2 in a row, some things to keep building on, and now you get ready for a tough road game at Fresno. But he's Nathan Carroll, and I'll be back after some post-game interviews. He'll take your comments, your questions, a lot of them already in the hopper. So keep them coming, Nathan. Appreciate you, and I'll be back soon.
Yeah, thanks, BJ. Bronco Nation, how we doing? Like BJ said, good win for Boise State. Kind of what we expected, not to toot my own horn a little bit, but I said Boise State by 10 in my pregame prediction. Said it wouldn't be comfortable, but at the same time wasn't going to be a nail-biter, and that's more or less exactly what it was. I mean, Boise State found a way to just slowly get a couple more shots, get a couple more good possessions, get a couple more stops, and by the end of the game, it transforms itself into a 10-point win for the Broncos. And I saw some fans on Twitter saying, they're in a dogfight with Wyoming. Like, this is a good Wyoming team. Sundance Wicks has this team playing well. They're coming off a double-digit point win against Grand Canyon at GCU. Like, this is not a walkover team. This is not a bad team. They've had some injuries which have hurt their overall record. But all things considered, you're able to take care of business against a Wyoming team that, like BJ said, you're favored by 8.5. You win by 10. Like at the end of the day, it's a good performance. And at this point in the season, a win's a win. And you need to just keep stacking wins to try to climb up the standings and maximize your chances of taking home a Mountain West tournament crown and getting an NCAA bid. At this point, that's what it's all about. Want the best seed possible to be able to do that. And certainly a win tonight maximizes your chance of doing that. I put out a tweet before the game talking a little bit about it that right now Torvik's Concast has the 6th seed is the most likely, or should say before the game, the 6th seed was the most likely spot. You win tonight, you stay on track for a 6th seed and becomes the favorite. Like, you are more than likely going to be a 6th seed. You lose tonight, 6 seed, 7 seed, 8 seed, 9 seed, all sitting there well within play. So getting the win tonight keeps them more than likely on that top line, and getting a 5 or 6 seed is going to be really big for this team, in particular because of what it means in your second game, right? If you're a 7 seed, that probably means you're taking on San Diego State in the 2-7 game if you're able to win that 7-10 matchup. If you're the 8 seed, right, obviously then you're getting Utah State in the first round. I think those are two teams that you want to wait as long as possible to face. And kind of what Tadic says, you beat some of the mid to lower teams in New Mexico. It's part of why getting that 6 seed so important. Like, New Mexico is currently third in the standings. They seem to be most likely to finish third. If you can get another matchup with New Mexico, if by getting a 6 seed, as opposed to like, you know, if you get the 7 seed and you've got a San Diego State, or even if you get a 5 and you potentially have to take on a Grand Canyon, like that becomes ideal territory. But that's enough seed talk. That's enough nerding out on that. Let's get to some of your comments. You guys are pouring in the love for RJ Keene, and it is absolutely being deserved. We'll get into some of these in more detail, but just all of the comments about RJ Keene and his performance tonight. BJ talked about the top 4, and we'll talk more about those guys, but I love it. Let's start with RJ Keene. RJ Keene, for you guys who don't know, had the flu earlier in the season, which caused him to miss some games, and I think just took some time to get back into playing shape. If any of you guys have had a bad flu before, you know, even once you've kicked it, it sticks with you for a week or so. RJ Keene looked like RJ Keene tonight. Finishes the game with 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and let me pull up his defensive stats, which we'll have here as well. 9 rebounds, 4 assists, has 2 blocks, has 2 steals, also has a Euro step fast break lay-in, something we haven't seen from RJ Keene before. I thought RJ Keene was excellent. Huge coming in for Peanut Carmichael, which if you guys missed the first half, Pearson Carmichael early in the game left the game with some sort of lower body injury, spent most of his game on the exercise bike staying warm. Good news, he did come back into the game later in the game, so appears to be fine, appears that he'll be available for this team going forwards. But RJ Keene, when they needed somebody to step up, and there were moments there at the end of the first half, early in the second half, where it kind of seemed like Boise State was just trying to find that 5th guy that Peanut normally would have filled. RJ Keene, valiant effort, really, really strong 28 minutes for the Broncos. I think the praise for him is absolutely warranted. And yeah, the Mountain West Network analyst had it there, just all over the place, getting his hands on balls. I mean, the 9 rebounds probably doesn't even give credit, because he's getting tip outs where he's not the one who gets credited with the rebound, but he's going up and keeping the ball loose so that someone else can grab it. He's the one that when someone brings the ball down low, he's making sure that ball is staying in bounds and getting to a teammate so somebody else is able to get credit for the steal. RJ Keene with it's the game that fans love, right? It wasn't scoring. It wasn't him getting red hot. It was doing all of the little things, doing all of the dirty work, and it worked out well. Clearly, if Boise State able to pull out a 10-point win, I thought RJ Keene having that version of Keene back was huge, and we'll see what happens going forwards. Obviously, Carmichael came back into the game. We'll see if they remain with him as the starter, if they opt to go with Keene because of the energy that he brought. Boise State did get off to a little bit of a slow start, and I thought in part that was because of some of the defensive issues that Carmichael and Meadow had. Both of those guys were having some challenges early in this game. But ultimately, RJ coming in had a massive game. We're talking about Dylan Andrews, who had 20 points and was phenomenal. We've talked about it before on this show, but when Dylan Andrews is Boise State's best offensive player, this team is really, really tough to beat. 20 points, 6 of 9 shooting. Didn't do the playmaking as much as he typically did. Finished the game with just 1 assist. But Dylan Andrews was phenomenal offensively, was confident scoring the basketball. And it seemed like time and time again in that second half, when Boise State needed a bucket, it just seemed like Dylan Andrews was there too. Love this comment as well, shouting out Javen Buchanan. Very efficient performance, and really an efficient performance from all of the top 3 guys. I said Dylan Andrews, 6 of 9 shooting. Javen Buchanan finishes with 17 on 7 of 10 shooting. He was phenomenal tonight. Did an excellent job getting to the basket, had a putback, had a second chance bucket. Javen finished the game with 6 rebounds, including 2 offensive rebounds. I think Javen is just so steady, and he's kind of become the unsung hero for this Boise State team, where even when he's not scoring the ball effectively, he's just solid defensively. He's grabbing rebounds. He's just consistent, right? Like there's very few nights where you're going to count on or where you can't count on Jamin Buchanan having at least an impactful game, right? Even when it's not on the scoring side, defensively and on the boards, he always does a good job there. I thought Jamin Buchanan had a really strong game. Drew Fielder as well, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, 6 of 10 shooting from the floor. Again, that top 3 all shooting above 60% from the field in this game. Really, really efficient from Boise State's best players. And I thought Drew Fielder showed his offensive prowess tonight, right? Wyoming doesn't have the best bigs. That's not the strength of their team, right? They're more of a guard-focused team. And I thought Drew Fielder took advantage, absolutely. Thought he did a really good job when they opted to run offense through him. Early in the game, made a point to get him the ball. I think in the first 10 or 15 minutes, had 8 shots and 8 points in the game. And what I loved about his performance tonight is that the offense looked different. We've seen in some of his big games, the St. Mary's one is one that stands out right away, of a lot of his shots, a lot of his looks are pick and pops on the perimeter where he's either taking a 3 or he's pump faking and driving to the basket. A lot of back to the basket work tonight, which really good revelation for this Boise State team. It just gives them just another pitch to throw when you get to the Mountain West tournament and you get to some of these top teams that, hey, we're struggling to find offense. Drew Fielder's shown some really good things. There's just a low post player who can go get his own bucket. Really encouraged with his performance tonight. Andrew Meadow, worth shouting out as well, has 10 points. He's the 4th Bronco who made it into double digits. Just 4 of 9, not the most efficient compared to the 3 other guys, which 4 of 9, not bad by any means. 2 of 5 from 3. But 3 assists tonight for Andrew Meadow. That ties a career high. He had 3 assists in the last game as well. One of the, critiques of Andrew Meadows' games that you've had in the past is that he's not always a willing passer, doesn't always see teammates at a really high level. Last couple of games, I think he's done a much better job of recognizing when he's stuck and finding an open player that's either cutting off of him or spotting up because they went to help on him. That's something in Andrew Meadows' game that if he can unlock that playmaking ability, more so looking into next season, really encouraging about, okay, maybe Andrew Meadow can be a little bit more of an offensive hub instead of a play finisher, because he's so good attacking closeouts, so good at hitting open 3s on the catch and shoot. But if he can start to add a little bit of a playmaking piece to his game, I think that really elevates what he can be as an offensive player. And 6 assists in the last 2 games. From my research, I could have it wrong, but from my research, I don't think he's had 6 assists in over a 2-game stretch in his career. So I thought Andrew Meadow played well, had some defensive struggles early, which we mentioned, but ultimately 34 minutes, played more minutes than anybody, and I thought was a positive, impactful player for the Broncos. So Andrew Meadow, I thought, played well. And then last guy who individually I'm going to shout out is A.G. Nato. If you look at the box score, probably doesn't stand out much. 15 minutes, didn't have any points, was 0 of 2 from the field, had 3 fouls, but he was a +3 and +- and I thought he was a menace defensively. I think you could see Wyoming's guards get actively frustrated when they had A.G. Nato on him. He's really bought into his role as a small minute point of attack defender, and he uses those minutes to the absolute fullest, where he is just harassing ball handlers. And particularly in the second half, he had some really good minutes with Dylan Andrews, where Andrews was running a lot of the offense, sort of taking that burden off of Nato and allowing Nato to just be all over people defensively. I thought it was absolutely worth shouting out A.G. Nato's performance. Again, if you looked at the box score, 0 points, 0 rebounds, no blocks, no steals, right? It's not the box score highlight game, no doubt about it. But if you watch the tape, you watch the game, I thought A.G. Nato had a really strong performance. I was really impressed with what he did tonight. And you cultivate, a few strong performances there, and Boise State walks away with a 72-62 victory. Did so without shooting well from 3-point range, just 5 of 21 from behind the 3-point arc. I like it. Didn't seem like this team forced a lot of threes. It seemed like the most part that they let threes come to them, and they were good shots. Like, that's something that I trust that this team is going to start knocking them down more and more in the future. Elsewhere, some turnover some turnover issues cropped up in the second half, did finish the game with 12 turnovers, but mentioned it in the pregame. The key to this game would be rebounding. Wyoming, they pride themselves on their ability to rebound the basketball. Boise State out-rebounds the Cowboys 35-23, a plus 12 advantage. And every single one of those rebounds mattered. And a 10-point win, if you're plus 12 on the boards, like that does it. That contributes to winning basketball. And for Boise State to only get seven points from their bench, one of the strengths of this team this season has been their depth. So for them to be able to have sort of a bad shooting night from the bench and still be able to come out with a win, I think is encouraging. I thought, Sig Modern talking about the team created more turnovers, just forced 9 turnovers, wasn't crazy, but I did think that there was a lot more ball pressure tonight. The block shots, they finished with 7 blocks, which from my looking, I think ties a season high for this team. One of the criticisms of this team is that they haven't been a shot blocking team. They haven't gotten up in opponents. I thought did a really nice job defending the rim tonight. On the block department, I know I mentioned that Drew Fielder had 2 blocks, but then RJ Keene with 2, Dom Pearlin with 2, and Spencer Aarons with 1 block as well. So really good to see this team starting to add a little bit of rim protection in this game. Now, is it going to be a trend that continues to go forwards? Like, that remains to be seen. I mean, at the end of the day, like we said, it's a 10-point win. It's not like they blew Wyoming about 30. I don't think this necessarily changes the outlook of this team. I'm not picking them to win the Mountain West tournament quite yet, but it's encouraging that they're taking care of business and doing what they need to do. So that was some more of my fleshed out thoughts on the games. Let's jump back into the ICC YouTube chat and get some of your guys' comments. Dominated on the glass, absolutely, and we talked about against Wyoming. That's something that you just absolutely have to do. NATO poked a few there. Yeah, wasn't credited with any steals, but I think AG NATO had a couple of call them like steal assists, where he sort of created this steal that he doesn't get credit for. Bon Boim early in the game checked in within the first 8 minutes of the game. Didn't just play 2 minutes, didn't get a lot of run, but Bon Boim was in there. There was a lineup in particular. We're gonna get a little deep, a little bit nerdy, guys. So stay with me. There was a lineup that they went to early in the game with AG NATO, RJ Keene, Bon Boim, Spencer Aarons, and Dominic Pearlin. So it was 5 backups in there, 5 reserve players. And it completely shifted the tide of the game, because in the first 4 minutes, both teams were scoring at will. Peanut Carmichael gets hurt. Leon Rice comes out of the timeout with that unit. And over the next 3 minutes of the game, both teams combined to go 0 of 5 and 4 turnovers. It turned this thing from a track race into a rock fight in a moment. And I think that sort of helped Boise State's defense ease into the game, getting that unit in there. Again, the offense was not working. There was not any play creation or shot creation in that group, but really, really good defensive unit in there that I thought kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. Peanut struggle on needs to attack in the offseason, grow as a defender. Yeah, early in the game, we were saying even before Carmichael got hurt that he was struggling, and maybe there was an injury that came into the game. But yeah, he had some issues early on defensively that I think part of why that second unit that came in shifted the tide of the games, because they got back to the defense really playing at a high level there. NATO's all over the pokes guard. Yeah, again, AG NATO I thought was phenomenal. Really impressed with AG NATO's performance. Nathan needs some BSU gear. Look, Jason, I am a working member of the media. I can't play favorites, but I will say Boise State is my alma mater. I've got some at home. Don't you worry about it. But we're here. This is work. This is business. I try my best to rename impartial. Yeah. Okay. Look, I heard it's Bon Boim. I don't know if that's possible. And I know some people call him Bun. I think that's the team nickname for him. So when they say Bun, I don't think they're saying it wrong. I think that's the team nickname for him, but I could have that wrong. It might be pronounced Bun, but just Bon Boim is what I had heard when I did my research, my digging on him. In terms of what happened to Carmichael, don't know for sure. He came back later. It looked like something lower body. When he was on the sideline waiting to check in, he was rolling out his ankle. So I don't know if it was an ankle injury or if he was just like, stretching, getting his ankles loose to come back in the game, but definitely something lower body. But good to see him come back in the game. Obviously, you never want to see a guy get hurt. So it was good to see him come back in, and I imagine he'll be a part of the lineup going forward. Above average on turnovers, definitely committed more, particularly in the second half. I think Boise State had 4 turnovers at halftime, if I've got my numbers right there, and I can just double check that. I don't have to guess. 4 turnovers in the first half, 8 in the second half. So turnovers definitely ramped up in the second half. Some of it was just sloppy play. There was a little bit of like Spencer Aarons had a bad run in the second half with back-to-back turnovers. I did think there were a couple of I'll put it this way. The refs let both teams play pretty physical. I mean, Wyoming is bottom 5 in the nation in terms of they send teams to the line. They foul a lot. And Boise State didn't even finish in the double bonus in the second half. So I thought they let them play physical, which is part of why both teams started to turn the ball over a little bit more in the second half. Can we get the ball to JB and Drew down low? Yeah, I would say with Drew Fielder, I thought they did a really good job, particularly in the first half of getting the ball down low to him. I will say there were a couple possessions where JB started to back down his defender, and Wyoming was pretty quick to send a weak side double his way. So I think that part of why you didn't see a ton of Buchanan low post touches, particularly in the second half, was the way Sundance Wicks was choosing to guard him. I think they felt comfortable letting Boise State get shooters with 3-point shots with closeouts on them, and didn't want to give up just the one-on-one isolation post touches. And if that was the game plan for Wyoming, I mean, credit to them. Boise State shot 5 for 21 from the 3-point line. Like, if that was the game plan, clearly that part of it worked for Wyoming, and then just needed a few more stops and more offensive buckets. Comments about the free throw line absolutely warranted. 17 of 19 from the free throw line. This team's been very good as a free throw shooting team this year. Let's see if the Ken Palm numbers are updated so we can see where they sit nationally now in free throw rate. Yeah, they've added Wyoming in there. So Boise State's up to 13th nationally against D1 opponents in free throw percentage at 78.5%. It's one of those things that, I get it. I've got my teams that I'm fans of, right? And when you see your teams missing free throws, it's so frustrating. And this team has been excellent there. And as Skyship asks, more clutch from the free throw line, Reigns or DA. I think you have to call it a draw. I don't think there's any other way to put it at this point, because Dylan Andrews, I think, shooting about 90% on the year, and B.J. Reigns shot 90% from the free throw line in his performance. So I think you have to say it's a tie. It's a toss-up, and any man on their day, I guess, could win that one. JB is a monster in the post, let him pass open shooters from the paint. Yeah, Jaden Buchanan's passing wasn't something that necessarily got showed off tonight, but really strong passer, really strong part of his game that, when they use him as sort of an offensive engine and run the offense through him, I think he makes good decisions as a passer. And worth noting with Buchanan's game tonight, if there's a criticism of Buchanan's game this year, it's that he hasn't been as efficient around the rim as you feel like he should be for someone with his size and with his strength. Was really, really good around the rim tonight. That's, if you want to look at a key, what does it take for this team to go win a Mountain West tournament? I think getting good Javen Buchanan shooting nights around the rim is going to be huge for that. Brought that tonight, and obviously the Broncos get a win in part because of it. They do finish the game with 1.13 points per possession, which, for those of you guys who don't know, fairly strong game. Held Wyoming to 0.97 points per possession, so a strong defensive performance as well. Part of why there wasn't a lot of scoring in this game, just 64 possessions, certainly on the low end. So it was a slower paced kind of a rock fighty game. And all things considered, I thought the offense played pretty well, considering that it was more of a rock fight type game, and thought they did a good job of adjusting and finding buckets when they needed to. So, I mean, at this point in the season, like we said, the at-large stuff is put to bed. We're not going to be analyzing where your Ken Palm is and what kind of quad win. At this point, it really is just about how can you get these next 3 games after this one are going to be, how do you get the most out of, or how do you get the best seed possible to give yourself the best chance of winning a Mountain West tournament once you do get down to Vegas? And a big win tonight. We'll see when the Torvik numbers update where they have Boise State now. Looking around the rest of the conference, Colorado State was able to pull off the comeback against Fresno State. That was a notable game for Boise State fans. Wanted Fresno State to win there because Colorado State tied with Boise State in the standings. Both teams are 9-8, and Colorado State has a chance to come to play here, which could end up mattering for the tiebreak there. So Colorado State was able to pull off the comeback, and then Nevada and New Mexico just tipped off. Nevada up 8-2. If you're a Boise State fan watching at home, need to be cheering for New Mexico in that game. Even though Boise State is the tiebreaker on New Mexico, the chances of catching them are pretty much zero. So you want New Mexico to find a way to win at Nevada, currently down 8-2, it looks like. And then when we're off air, because we won't be around for when that game ends, definitely check out Another Night in the Mountain West with Tom Moser. He'll have the recap on that game as well as all of the games that we've had in the Mountain West tonight. So definitely be sure to stick around and check that out. Comment here from Joss asking what was RJ Keene's plus minus. I'll give that for you. RJ Keene finished with a +9 in plus minus tonight. So not always the best stat. A lot of stuff can happen on the basketball court. It's out of your control when you're on the floor. I thought he was even more impactful than a +9. So, but RJ Keene, good game there. We're going to do this. We're going to send this to we're going to have BJ Rains come back on in a moment. He's going to have interviews with Leon Rice, with players. We're going to have Abe Jackson come join us as well. Got a lot of content here on the Jacksons Postgame Show. Be sure to continue to stick around. I think we're going to get loaded up interviews with players and Leon Rice. We're going to be doing that here shortly. So continue to get your thoughts, your comments into the chat. And here we have Leon Rice, his thoughts about Boise State's 10-point win tonight.
I know the key's always to, be clicking, going into the tournament and kind of playing your best ball. I mean, it's 2 wins, but it's, I think, 8-3 over the last 11. I mean, do you feel this team is starting to trend in the right direction?
Well, the progress, number one progress I want to make is guarding a little bit better. And, the guy got 30 on us at their place, and we made it a little more difficult for him tonight. I mean, that's progress. It's great to have RJ back to RJ. And that's a big factor in our team. All those hustle plays he made, I thought that steal he got to put us up, I think, 10 at that time, that was a big play. And he kind of is that, we talk about glue guys all the time, but he makes all those kind of hustle plays. But I think we have made some progress defensively. I mean, Drew made some big defensive plays down the stretch, and, he's been working on that. And we can still get a lot better, and that's what these guys know. The process of us getting better is working, and because that team, they're playing good basketball and they're hard to guard, and they got a lot of quick guys that get in the paint. And I thought we had some moments of defending a lot better.
You've mentioned the process of you guys getting better is working. Obviously, you only have 3 more games now until the conference tournament. So, I mean, do you feel like that process is at a point where you can play your best basketball in a couple of weeks?
Not yet. We gotta use every day and every moment that we're together because we can, and that's what I appreciate about these guys so much. I'm gonna come in the next practice and we're gonna have a list, things that we're doing good. And when I say get better, sometimes you find the things you're doing really good, and let's accentuate those and make them even better. And so there's a couple of those in my mind. If you watch the film, you got more clarity. But that's what they're bought into. And like I said before, we're practicing well, and the team enthusiasm is great. The energy's great, and there's a lot of guys that I know I can get, and I know our team can get to play to their capabilities, and when we do, and everybody's clicking, then look out.
Just 7 bench points, Leon. Look, the guys who started look great. You played most of them. I guess just how do you view that? You happy with it?
Well, we've had some explosive play off the bench, and tonight it wasn't that. They didn't get all the minutes. They didn't get a ton of minutes, and the rotation got a little messed up there, because we went like 8 minutes, and then I had to sub 5, and then Peanut was out, and then, and so there was some kind of janky lineups, because, subbing, it's more art than science, and you want to give those guys a chance to get into a flow. And we got in a flow to start the game offensively, but not defensively a little bit. We let them, they were a little too comfortable. But then I thought we did a better job of that in the second half. We had some flow to us, and I think that really, really helped them. And, we had a flow to our offense a little bit more. We knew where the ball wanted to go, and we got it there.
The football coaches call it that middle eight, that the end of the first half, beginning of the second half can kind of swing games. And you guys had that 9-0 run to end the first half, and then you extend the lead, I think, to 10, in the first couple minutes of the second half. How big was that?
Yeah, that is good. Football guys are smart. They always got all these little things that I pick up on and love to. That was great. And that's where, our guys played a little less minutes than their guys too. So, it's the third lap in the mile, kind of the third lap's the hardest, and that's where a lot of the races are run. Anyone can run the fourth lap. Third lap is the hard one, and that's where your depth needs to help you, and we can get more out of our depth, and that's that's the journey, and that's the quest as a coach that I'm on, is to keep developing those guys.
36 points in the paint, 17 for 19 from the free throw line. Obviously, on a night when you don't shoot the ball too well from the outside, I imagine comforting to still win by double digits.
No doubt, and that's a great sign, because we got each other some good looks at three. Especially, you start the game, they come and, bring 1.5 to Javen, and he snaps one to Peanut. That's a great look. And we got, they were almost kind of picking their poison a little bit, because Drew and Javen were really going to work down there, and Dom had some good plays too, and so they were picking their poison. So you got to make some of them, and, we can make more of them. I know that. But it's all about the shot quality, and we were getting pretty good shots.
RJ was telling us that shot at the end of the first half that Drew made, play wasn't supposed to go to him. Just what did you like about the way he improvised that play?
But that's the beauty of having good offensive players. That you can drop the perfect play for guys that can't make buckets, and darn it, the operation success, the patient died. But guys like Drew, well, we screwed up the play, but he made the shot. That's what you want as a coach. And he didn't screw up the play. He improvised because the play wasn't open. And, they did a good job of defending it. And that's the beauty and that's why he's such a hard matchup. Now he banked it in, right? But guys that have balls that go in find a way to make those. And, that was a big momentum swing the end of the first half.
How's Peanut doing?
Pardon me?
How's Peanut doing?
Yeah, he was moving pretty, I think it swelled up a little bit, and, he was, so we'll evaluate him. I can't even guess, so I haven't looked at our trainer.
Is it a rolled ankle?
I think so. That's what they were saying, so we'll see. But he went down pretty hard.
All right, we're back live on the Jacksons Postgame Show. That was Leon Rice, his postgame comments after the game. I don't know why we got this weird glare with the lighting there. Sorry about that. We'll do the best we can. He's Abe Jackson. Again, can't miss him in the orange here. Just got done with
first time wearing it. It's been in the closet for a while.
Hey, Nike gear looks like team issued there. It's
well, Bronco Sports Properties, a little Learfield jacket.
Do the interview like this. Give them some love here. But you just got done calling the game with Bob Beeler again through Learfield, Bronco Sports Properties, all the radio affiliates, 670 KBOI, and went about kind of like it was supposed to. It was pretty close to the spread, pretty close to all the Ken Pom projections and all that. A 10-point win, and I thought the end of the first half was real big there. You're down 7. Huge. You go on a 9-0 run in the final 2 minutes of the half. That bank 3, and then you even that gets you up at the lead at the half, and then they extended it the first couple minutes of the second half. Got a 10-point lead with 15 minutes to go. It was They call it in football that middle 8, the last few minutes of the first half, the first few minutes of the second half. And we've seen it go the other way, where Boise State lets a 20-point lead get to 10. And I thought them getting the lead and then extending it to start the second half was the key to the game.
Yeah, that was huge. That 9-0 run in the last 2 minutes and I think 3 seconds was big to take the lead going into halftime. And then what I really liked from this team, though, is that Wyoming made a run, right? They hit back-to-back threes. They cut it to 4 points, maybe 5 points, something around there. I think 4 points. So they hit back-to-back threes. Coach Rice called a timeout, and that's where it ended. Like, that's where the run ended. We haven't really seen that this year. The run's gone from 6 to 8 to 12, and then the Broncos are, trying to claw back into it. But they gave up back-to-back threes, timeout, and then it just stopped. And the Broncos had some good, solid possessions offensively and defensively, and then just kind of pulled away toward the end and had a solid game. It really reminded me of some games before conference where the Broncos weren't scoring these 85 or 90 points. They were scoring 65 or 70, but they were holding the teams to the low 40s or the high 30s shooting, and they ended up getting these wins, a game against Butler, a game against St. Mary's. This really reminded me about that.
Yeah, and once again, by the way, a team-high 20 points for Dylan Andrews, plays 31 minutes, and he's out here shooting shots after the game. I mean, he's consistent, win, lose, great game, bad game, and nice to see him out here again. And 20 points for him. And Abe, I thought, we've talked so much about the bench this season, and they didn't do a lot today, but most of that was just because you didn't need them to do much. When you talk about 20 points from Dylan Andrews, 18 from Drew Fielder, 17 from Javen Buchanan, 3 guys with 17 points, and you throw in Andrew Meadow with 10, and then 2 from Keene, 3 from Pearland, 2 from Aarons. I mean, that was it. That was your 7 bench points. But if you can get 3 guys scoring 17 points, you're going to win most games you play.
Well, it's not just 17 points. I mean, Dylan Andrews shot 66%, 6 out of 9. Drew Fielder was 6 of 10 for 60%, and Buchanan was 7 of 10 for 70%. So when you have guys that are scoring high into the teens or into the 20s, and they're shooting 60% or better, I mean, that is really tough to stop. And the Broncos got that by just dominating in the paint. They had 36 points in the paint tonight. They had 36 points in the paint the first time they met in Laramie. And so they just had the advantage. If there wasn't a double team that came quick, Fielder and Buchanan were just abusing those posts inside.
Yeah, Boise State only goes 5 of 21 from three-point range, but as he said, dominated inside, also 17 of 19 from the free throw line, dominating there, and also a 35-23 edge on the glass.
Just all the things that we used to see the Broncos do earlier in the year, that kind of got away from a little bit in conference. The rebounding margins, the defense holding teams to in the high 40 or the low 40s, 42%. They held San Jose State to 43%, and then also the rebounding and getting to the free throw line is just classic Broncos.
2 wins in a row now. I mean, you want to be playing your best basketball here down the stretch, and I know it's San Jose and Wyoming. I mean, we're not printing the Sweet 16 shirts just yet, but they're now 8-3 in their last 11, and you just kind of look at the general trend the last month. Sure, they've had a couple rough patches, that 2-game losing streak with they just had with UNLV and blowing that game, and then Utah State, but the general trend here, 8-3 in the last 11, like I said, now 2 in a row. It would seem that this team is trending, I would think, in a positive direction here, and 3 really important games, not just for seeding, but for confidence and to keep this mojo going here into the tournament.
Yeah, and you have 2 road games. 2 out of your last 3 games are on the road. You're going to go to Fresno on Saturday, then home against San Diego State, and then on the road at Colorado State, which is always a tough place to play. But Fresno State's kind of a tricky team. I mean, their record I don't think reflects the quality of team that they are. They've lost 2 games. Their last 2 games they've lost, but they were in position to win both of those. Huge lead against New Mexico and blew it at the end. And then they were ahead pretty much the entire game against Colorado State until the Rams made a push in about the last 5 or 6 minutes and then ended up losing that game. So I think Fresno's playing much better than really what their record is showing right now.
Yeah, that's going to be one of those sneaky tough games too, because been to Fresno many times, and it's a big arena,
huge.
It's too big, and even when they get a halfway decent crowd, it feels empty in there. And I think they are drawing a little better than they have now that they're actually winning a little bit, and they're fun to watch. But it's still not much of an atmosphere in there, and it's just a at least for us, tough place to get to. I know they're chartering, but I mean, it's just it's one of those games where it's in a San Jose in a sense, or an Air Force, where you can't just walk in there and sleepwalk through it. And they've had, teams that weren't nearly as good at Fresno that they've almost lost to or have lost to. And now you talk about a team with Highbrighter and some of the guards they have. I think the KenPom projection was only like, I want to say 3 points or something. I mean, that is certainly going to be a game that Boise State's going to have to go in there and play well.
They're going to have to. I mean, Fresno State's got guys who can score the ball. Hyde Breeder, Boise State's a little familiar with, spent 2 years at the Air Force Academy and then transferred to Clemson and now back to Fresno, back in the Mountain West. So Broncos are familiar with some of the players on the team, but also kind of weird, right? If 3 games left in the season and you're seeing a team for the very first time, all these teams you've seen in the last month, you've already seen before once. So the scout is probably, more familiar. You know what they feel like out there, how strong guys are. are, how they actually move off screens. But now you got a team for the first time toward the very end of the season.
Yeah. But overall, final thing, Abe, I mean, do you like where the Broncos are at right now?
I do, and I like where they are, not just because they've gotten 2 wins, but because I feel like they've kind of gotten back to where they were when they won a bunch of games, when they went on that stretch. It wasn't just, we shoot 50%, we give up 50%, and see who scores the most at the end when you're going to the high 80s or 90s. But the rebounding's back, the defense is back, getting to the line and knocking them down too. I feel like this is a Bronco team that we saw win some pretty big games early in the season, this type of game.
Well, Abe, we're going to hear from RJ Keene and Drew Fielder, so we'll let you go. We appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you Saturday. You're going to be in Fresno. I am not. We're doing kind of the remote simulcast, but we're going to figure out a way to still get the pregame report from you before your broadcast on KBOI, and we'll figure out the logistics. But looking forward to talking to you on Saturday, and safe travels to Fresno.
All right, we'll see if the Orange Zippy makes a move to
people
Fresno.
Are commenting on it here. Where can I get one? Somebody else said it was very nice, so we know what the ladies called you back in the day.
If there was a sarcastic emoji that they could put, I'll bet that would be on the tail end of some of those.
Hey, man.
We'll see.
Abe the Babe in orange, man.
All
He can
right,
pull it off
go.
here. So appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, Abe, for joining us. Hey, Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor, wants to remind you they have some great deals going on. LithiaFordofBoise.com. You can check them out. And again, we're going to hear from RJ Keene, Drew Fielder in just a second. But Lithia Ford of Boise, check them out online at LithiaFordBoise.com. Sun Cruiser, real iced tea, real vodka, whether it's the vodka iced teas, the vodka lemonades. Sun Cruiser. Pick up a Sun Cruiser today and let the good times cruise. Hey, ICCU, they donated some more money tonight, $25 per made free throw to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. 17 made free throws. That's $425 from ICCU to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. Idaho Essential Credit Union online, iccu.com. And don't forget about the women's game tomorrow, 6:30 against the first place San Diego State Aztecs here at home. Come check that out. Hey, 99-cent coffee or hot chocolate using your Let's Go Rewards app. Our post-game show sponsor here, Jacksons. Again, you just get that free account with your Let's Go Rewards. Type in your phone number, and you get a 99-cent coffee or hot chocolate anytime, day or night, from our friends at Jacksons. Taco Bell, they were the game sponsor tonight. Good to see the Nicolason family out there on the court getting honored. They gave out free tacos to the students tonight. Had 300 students went away with tacos. I'm not sure they got to the 300 number, to be honest, but TacoBellWorks.com. We appreciate them. Pick up their breakfast quesadillas on your way to work, whether it's the crunchy chicken strips, all the great options at Taco Bell. Visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. And the Blue and Orange store has your gear if you're looking for some Boise State gear. And again, RJ Keene, Drew Fielder coming up momentarily here on the post-game show after the win. But if you're looking for some Boise State gear, the Blue and Orange store has you covered. Online, theblueandorange.store.com. Whether it's jerseys, caps, bumper stickers, car flags, the official in-venue provider of Boise State merchandise is the Blue and Orange store. Again, online at theblueandorangestore.com. Got a lot of comments coming in here and rolling. Appreciate all of you guys for those. Thanks, Abe. Yeah, Fresno is going to be a struggle. I agree with that. Let's see. Fresno will be last place in the new Pac-12. Let's see what else we got. Fresno might stink record-wise, but I promise it's going to be a tough game. Yeah, all the way. All the way. Fresno is always a tough game, and I'm telling you, they got some players. I'm not making excuses for Boise State that they're going to lose, whatever. But this is Fresno's got Highbrider. They got some guards, and they are good. Tom is not jumping on this show because he's going to do his own show as soon as this Nevada and New Mexico game ends. So when the Nevada New Mexico game ends, Tom will have his own full show tonight after this one. Ashley says more like student singular. No, they had a couple. They had a couple students tonight. They didn't have a big crowd, but they had some students. They had a few students tonight. It wasn't a great student crowd. The overall crowd wasn't great. They filled in a little bit, but I mean, can you get a sellout for San Diego State senior night? Javen Buchanan, Dylan Andrews, Dominic Perlin, their final home games of their career. I mean, can we get a sellout for senior night if Boise State wins at Fresno? If they're on a 3-game winning streak, it's a 7:00 game next Tuesday. You'd like to see a big crowd for San Diego State next Tuesday. But certainly, Nathan said, let's see, where better clutch free throw, Reigns or DA. I mean, those two free throws covered the spread there, so those were pretty clutch, no doubt. yeah, buy the cheapest tickets and go sit 2 rows from the floor in the student section. The other thing you can do is you can go sit in the opponent's section. Now, they filled it tonight, but a lot of times those 2 sections in the corner over here in front of right behind the opposing team's bench, they don't sell those tickets. They save those 50 seats for the opposing team's fans, and you can go get those seats usually and sit there as well when they don't sell them. So there's definitely RJ's got another year. RJ Keene has another year, so he's not a senior. He'll be back for another year. He has a 6th year. I don't know with COVID and then a medical red shirt. He's got another year. So RJ Keene's not going anywhere. 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and only 2 points for RJ Keene. RJ Keene also, you're going to want to hear one of his comments at the end. He referenced fake reports about the team not liking each other and the mood in the locker room with the guys. So there's been some public comments, fans, some media members, whatever, about this team not liking each other and just can't wait for the season to be over, that kind of thing. And a lot of folks in here are saying, oh, what else is he going to say? What else are they going to say? I get that to an extent, but I think RJ Keene was pretty strong in his words about what he called fake reports about what's going on inside the locker room. So let's hear from RJ. Let's hear from Drew, and then curious your guys' thoughts afterwards. But 72-62, the Broncos win it. Here's RJ Keene and Drew Fielder speaking with the media after the game.
Drew, obviously, largely in charge today. It felt like you were out there just had to feel a lot of confidence most of the night.
Yeah, I mean, I felt good. Like I always said, man, I feel like my teammates did a great job, like trusting me and giving me the ball, and coaches did a great job as well, putting me in great spots. So
dropped my phone here, but it comes back shortly. Sorry about that early in the interview, but got it figured out. Apologize. Dropping my phone there.
So it was good.
That shot at the end of the first half, just kind of take me through that, and just how important was that for you guys to take a lead going into halftime?
Oh, I mean, that was a great look by RJ. That wasn't even ran for me, and I'm so glad that he just looked over his shoulder. That was because it felt good. It's been a while since I've done that, so it felt good. That was a great pass.
RJ, what do you see? Who were you looking for on that?
So I was actually supposed to look for Spencer, and I'm pretty sure he was wide open. But my mindset, I was like, I'm just gonna pull it, shoot it. But then I'm like, hey, I see Drew even more wide open, so I'm like, I know he'll probably make it for sure.
I mean, you guys ended a half 9-0 after, I think you only had 22 points or something before. Just how big was that final 2-minute stretch before half?
That was huge. I mean, I also, I give a lot of credit to King. I think he had a block, a deflection, and then an assist, and then another assist. So it was just, I mean, when we got guys who want to make winning plays like that, then we got confident players who want to go capitalize off those plays. It leads to runs like that. So it was great.
I mean, just with RJ as well. I mean, he's had the flu. Leon said you lost some weight, and then you finished with 9 assists, 4 rebounds off the bench. Just, I mean, having RJ back and playing like that, how big is it?
I mean, it's so important for our team. And I've been on his case. I've been talking smack to him. I just see I was joking about the other week about his only 2-point field goal, and he got a little Euro step. I was like, oh my! I've never seen RJ do a Euro step in his life, but it was smooth. It was tough. So no, I give him all the credit, man. I love playing with him.
Was this kind of your game? That, like you said, the 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 points. I mean, does that kind of show? That's kind of seems like a typical game for you.
Yeah, it felt like vintage Keene a little bit, but no, I'm finally 100%. Got all my weight back, and it feels good to go win these games with my brothers.
What are you seeing? Two wins in a row now. I know it's been an up and down season, but what are you seeing just in terms of where this team's at with 3 regular season games left?
Yeah, we got a spark, and we're playing pretty well right now, but we still have a lot to improve on. But no, we want to win games. We love each other. We love playing with each other, and we have something to prove, and we're gonna go make a statement.
I mean, you're 8-3 in your last 11. It's not like this is a pretty extended stretch here. Where you guys have been playing pretty good basketball. I mean, do you feel like you guys are, if you can keep rolling here, that you're going to be a dangerous team going down into Vegas?
Yeah, I don't see why not. We have the quad 1 wins that show for that. We can beat teams on the road. We can beat teams here, and I think we are going to be pretty dangerous once we're all together, and we are.
RJ, what was it like trying to get back? How tough was that for you after the illness?
I mean, yeah, it was tough. I did 4 IVs, and I ate a ton because I didn't eat for 7 days, and I was trying to get all that weight back. And yeah, it wasn't fun, but now I'm back to 100% and it feels good.
Drew, big picture for you. I think I asked you after the last game, but just how do you feel about where the team's at here down the stretch?
I feel great. I think we have the right guys, and I think just our quality of our responses and our work ethic and just how bad we want to be successful. I think, it just gives me all the confidence in the world for us to go into a tournament and win games in a row. I think we're super volatile, and I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to finishing the season. Like, it's been really fun, and I think we've given some things away. So I'm really excited to put it all together.
There's been a lot of hot takes, RJ, just about this team being checked out, or if guys are already looking ahead, or they don't like each other, or whatever. I mean, I know it's been an up and down season, but what's it like in the locker room, and how locked in is this group to try to finish strong here?
I mean, we want to go play in March Madness. This team loves each other. I mean, if you had a behind-the-scenes camera of our squad, you would think we haven't lost, because we have the swagger, we have what it takes to win, and we love each other. We've grinded since the beginning of June. We've been in it for, I think that's 9 months, and yeah, all those fake reports and all that stuff. This team, if you can see our celebrations after people make buckets, after people are going in, this team we're locked in.
Anything else? Good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, there you go. RJ Keene meeting with the media. Drew Fielder called the fake reports for some of the comments, fans and everybody saying this team is checked out. You can make what'd you make of those comments? Like I said, some of you guys that said, hey, they're what else are they supposed to say? Of course they're going to say everything's fine. I heard a lot of that after the last game. So let me know if that changes things about hearing RJ kind of strong as he was. If that makes you feel any differently. The last 2 games, again, you see the guys pointing at each other, cheering for each other. I thought there was a moment later in the game when they were starting to let the lead slip a little bit, and Drew Fielder pulled everybody together for a huddle near midcourt. I thought he showed some good leadership there for that. So I thought overall it was certainly a nice win, a lot to like moving forward. Sick Modern said that sounded like truth to me. So you guys agree with that? I mean, again, I know some say, oh, what's RJ supposed to say there? He's not going to say, yeah, we don't like each other, can't wait for the season to be over. I get that. But I still thought that he was pretty strong in some of his comments. And I'm not going to say people that said that are wrong. I can only go off what people say and what people tell me. And I have not heard any of that in terms of it being some disgruntled locker room and people checked out and people not liking each other. I haven't heard that. Somebody's asking about the hot dog basket. It's right here. Rain's boy is going to be eating some hot dogs tonight unless Sean Goodwin eats them all here from the Idaho Statesman. He's currently got the hot dog and the burger. What was that? A burger and fries? Here, let's give Sean Goodwin a little love here. He's eating the hot there. Burger and fries, man. Give the media some free food, and we're good, man. Yeah, they brought the stuff over here, and we've been giving some of it away. But whatever hot dogs are left here, the Rains boys love their Bronco dogs. They're going to wake up tomorrow and have some nice, healthy Bronco dogs for breakfast. And I'll be the dad of the year for bringing home a couple Bronco dogs if Sean Goodwin, Idaho Statesman, doesn't clean me out here before. He's getting ready to take one. So, but it's the one perk of being here late. They have the leftover food they bring by, and once in a while, a Diet Coke or something comes our way as well. So, always appreciate the extra hot dogs that they bring by here. So that's dope. The Extra Mile takes care of the meat. It's funny, and I don't say this negatively, but they don't during the game. I mean, we get a bottle of water and maybe a Diet Coke in the media room, but there's no, you go to some of these places, there's a full meal. I mean, you go to, like, when I was at Kansas, it was like a full catered, Italian restaurant and stuff. I mean, some of these places have ridiculous media food and things like that. I mean, there's a reason we're all in great tip-top, thin shape here. But here in Boise, there's football food. They do give us a meal for the football games. Basketball, it's funny. We're right next to the room where all the big donors are, and we can watch them eat and drink, and we're over there kind of with our bottled water. And but all jokes aside, it's fine. That's how it is. Boise State's budget has much more things to focus on than feeding the media, so I'm not complaining. But it is funny, kind of like during the game, pregame, there's nothing, and then once all you got to do is make it to postgame, and then you get the Bronco dogs here. So this was probably made about 5 hours ago and has been sitting out, and I'm sure it's very healthy to still be eating at this point. But no, it's we always appreciate them and Nathan McGregor and the whole crew that always takes care of us and brings by the food and stuff after the game. But you heard from Drew Fielder and RJ Keene. And I think Keene was serious. I really do. I don't think he would just make that up and use those kind of strong words if he didn't feel that way about this team going down the stretch here. And so it's 2 wins. I get it. We're not going to make it more than it is. And not only is it 2 wins, it's 2 wins against 2 of the worst teams in the conference. So, but you know what? You were supposed to win, and you did. And that's 2 double-digit wins. And you look big picture-wise, right now, Boise State 17-11. They're 9-8 in conference. And as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-3. Going back to that, after that 4-game losing streak, where they lost the 2 overtime games, San Diego State, lost badly at home to Grand Canyon and Utah State, and then had the overtime loss at UNLV, on January 13th. Ever since that, they're 8-3. They had the 4-game winning streak, lost at Grand Canyon, came back and beat Nevada in overtime, got that win over New Mexico on the road. So you can't just say they're beating up on bad teams. I mean, they've got wins over Nevada and New Mexico, 2 of the top 4 teams during that stretch. But Boise State 8-3 going back to January, mid-January here. And so this has been for the most part, trending in a positive direction here. And I think they've got a chance to win out. I really do. I mean, I think they're all – the problem is they have a chance to win out, and they also have a chance to lose out. I mean, all 3 of these games are basically coin flip games. I mean, Ken Pom has 73-70 win at Wyoming. He has a 72-71 win against San Diego State, and he has a 73-71 loss at Colorado State. So all 3 of Boise State's remaining games, Ken Pom projects as a 1-possession game. And so literally a coin flip for each of the final 3 games. And how's this season going to go? It's been up and down. So you would think, okay, well, they're probably going to lose 1 or 2 of these. Or you say, okay, they're trending back up. They're going to win all of these. I mean, it's a pretty quick, 3 games here in a 8-day stretch or whatever, starting on Saturday. And I could see it going either way. I truly could. These are all really quick, really coin flip type games that could go either way. And it's going to have a big say on the seeding for the tournament, and it's going to have a big say on how this season's going to continue to go and how their momentum is going to be going into the conference tournament here. So I think I'm excited for these final 3 games, but obviously the game at Fresno is going to be that first kind of really tough coin flip game that's going to kind of set the tone for the final week. And, as Max says, if Drew and DA play like this, we can win the tourney. No, I don't need a hot pregame meal. Appreciate you, Sky, but I'll be all right. I can eat before I get here. No worries. I do think that this is a big game to kind of set the tone for the final week. You got senior night against San Diego State. You hope it's a big crowd, and that's a winnable game. Colorado State on the road, winnable game. I mean, Fresno almost won there tonight. Nice comeback for Colorado State to get the win, but not going to be an easy game in Fresno on Saturday. They were up 20+ on New Mexico and then blew it, and had a nice lead on Colorado State on the road and lost that as well. But we'll see what happens. I think if you're a positive, glass half full type Boise State fan, you say the last month they've been trending in the right direction. They're looking like the team that you kind of thought they would be, and obviously a lot's going to be on that Saturday game. And don't forget, Saturday, we're going to have the Manning cast, the BNN cast on Saturday. They have pushed the start time back 30 minutes for that game. That game is now going to tip at 6 o'clock, and we'll be live at 5:30 for the Fresno State game. And I'm going to have a Sun Cruiser or 2. So, I mean, get a couple Sun Cruisers in me, and who knows what I'm going to say on the broadcast. So you don't want to miss this, and I'm hoping you guys are having Sun Cruisers as well. And we're going to have some sort of contest where during the game, everybody needs to get some Sun Cruisers for the game on Saturday. And anybody during the game that sends me a photo, either email if you don't want to put it on social media, but you got to prove somehow, some way that you're having a Sun Cruiser during the live BNN broadcast. And if you do that on Saturday, we're going to have a cool little prize pack that we'll raffle off. So I get it. Some of you don't want to go on social media and show that you're drinking. I understand that. Ideally, you would do that. And I will say we'll give you 2 entries. Maybe we give you an extra entry if you're willing to put it on social media and tag BNN. And we can show Sun Cruiser they're getting some advertising. But I'm looking forward to Saturday. I'm not traveling. It's a Saturday evening. My kid will have just finished a baseball scrimmage, and maybe he goes deep or something, and I'm in a good mood. I don't know. But I'm going to pick up some Sun Cruisers, and I'm going to broadcast the game, and we're going to just hang out like we're at a sports bar, right? Having a Sun Cruiser and talking ball. And we're going to have Max Rice and Tyson Degenhardt joining us, and we're going to take your questions and your comments. And I did get a text back during the game from who was it? I can't think. Oh, Derek Marks. Derek Marks texted me back during the game. It's going to be 2:30 in the morning in Romania, but he still might do it. Matt Bauscher's going to join us. We're going to try to get Alvaro Cardenas, Abu Kijab. We're going to try to get some more former players, but Tyson Degenhardt, Max Rice will be doing the first half of the broadcast with me. So 6 o'clock game. We'll start the live pregame show about 5:30 Mountain Time. And then, like I said, you can watch the game right here on BNN with us. And it's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday. I hate not being in Fresno. I don't like not going on the road. It's something I pride myself in, is going on the road and being there for a lot of these games. But in this case, it just wasn't possible to do this broadcast being at the game. And I thought, you know what, let's just try it for a game. I'll stay back, skip going to Fresno, and we'll give it a try. But heck yeah, if I'm not in the arena, I can do exactly like you guys are doing. I can sip on a cold one and enjoy the game. So that's what I'm going to do, and we'll have fun and talk ball and tell some stories with Max and Tyson and whoever else jumps on. And maybe if we get a contest or something, maybe we throw a fan or two on if one of you guys want to come on and give some comments. I don't know. So we'll have fun. Again, game's at 6. We'll start at 5:30, and we'll have the pregame show, the game, and then the postgame show. And yes, the Bulldog Grill, it's the Doghouse Grill, not Bulldog Grill, Doghouse Grill tri-tip sandwich. Will have to wait till next year. But just talked to Leon Rice after the press conference, told him what we were going to do. He was pumped when he heard that Max was going to be on, and did confirm that he'll still come on with us post-game on the computer or the phone. So we'll still have post-game interviews. Abe Jackson will still join us live from Fresno. Well, we had a fan. I don't know if you're watching or not. I forget your name. I apologize. I believe it was Mason that lives in Fresno and is going to the game, and told me he'd send me some videos back of warm-ups and stuff. So we'll do our best. It's going to be fun. It'll be a little different, but looking forward to it on Saturday. So join us then, and really looking forward to that broadcast. It's going to be a lot of fun with some of the guests and stories and things that we have planned. Hey, Signature Roofing. Online at mysignatureroofing.com. Whether it's a re-roof or repair, an estimate, or an inspection, check out Signature Roofing online at mysignatureroofing.com. We checked that Mountain West scoreboard update, and again, 3 games are final, and it's 74-70. Colorado State took down Fresno. San Jose State wins 86-80. Obviously, Boise State won 72-62, and then you have New Mexico on the road, now trailing 21-20 late in the first half. Minute 50 to go. 21-20. Nevada has a 1-point lead over New Mexico. Tom Moser will be live with all the action coming up after that, recap of all the action after that New Mexico-Nevada game ends on another night in the Mountain West. Hey, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. We got to give away a Bauscher Real Estate Player of the Game tonight. Who is your Bauscher Real Estate Player of the Game? You got a couple different, couple different candidates here. 20 points from Dylan Anders, 18 points from Drew Fielder, 17 points from Javen Buchanan. Let's see here. Very professional. I'm not sure if you're talking about me saying I'm going to have a cold one during the broadcast or what, but let's see. Looking at the possibilities here for the player of the game, I think we're going to give it to Drew Fielder. He goes 18 points, 7 rebounds, has an assist, and 2 block shots. Drew Fielder, we're going to go ahead and give him our Player of the Game award, our Matt Bauscher Player of the Game award. A lot of different possibilities. I mean, the leading scorer was Dylan Anders, but and Javen Buchanan had 17 and 6 as well. But we're going to give 18 points, 7 rebounds in 30 minutes, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 6 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from three-point range. Drew Fielder gets our Player of the Game award from Matt Bauscher online at BauscherRealEstate.com. We need to give a Defensive Player of the Game award, and I've been forgetting to play our little intro we made here. Defensive Player of the Game, and that is from our friends at Element Fencing.
It's time for the Element Fencing Defensive Player of the Game, brought to you by Element Fencing, a family-run fencing company with more than 40 years of hands-on experience. Let our owner, Brady, work with you to build your project from the ground up. with the perfect design and materials to meet your fencing needs. Check out elementfencing.com today. Who's today's Element Fencing defensive player of the game? Let's find out on Bronco Nation News.
All right, I think we got to give the Element Fencing defensive player of the game tonight to R.J. Keene. R.J. Keene, typical game for him, only scores 2 points, but 9 rebounds, including 8 defensive rebounds for R.J. Keene tonight. He had 2 steals and 2 blocks. What a game from R.J. Keene tonight. We're going to give him our Element Fencing defensive player of the game. R.J. Keene, again, 9 rebounds, did have 4 assists, 2 points, but more importantly, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He had that 1 steal, which led to the Euro step layup down there that put Boise State up 10. That was a big play in the game. So I think that was a huge play for at that point in the game. We're going to give R.J. Keene the defensive player of the game, brought to you by our friends at Element Fencing. Decks, pergolas, fences, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl, they can do it all. Brady is ready to help you out. Element Fencing, again, online, elementfencing.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com. Check them out. Locations across the state of Idaho, surrounding states as well. Shop ridleys.com. I said it the other day, but I stopped off and saw the Rupert location when I was driving back from Logan the other day. So Ridley's Family Markets, great selection, great prices. Check them out at Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com. Hey, if you got a painting project, now's the time. 20% off your winter painting projects from our friends at rowpaint.com. They got the interior, exterior painting, the concrete coatings. I recommend the Painter for a Day project. They provide the painter, you provide the paint. You got a couple walls you need touched up, painted, whatever. You can basically hire a painter from rowpaint.com for the day. Painter for a Day. Get more information at rowpaint.com. Transportation compliance service, complete trucking management. We're talking DOT, overweight, all the permits, everything you need to get into the trucking industry. If you're looking for a new job, fresh start, maybe they're a local company helping out folks all over the world. Again, you can check them out online. Transportation compliance service. Back here in the Sun Cruiser studios, courtside or close enough to courtside here in the corner of ExtraMile Arena. We check on Sean Goodwin. The fries are now gone. The burger has been eliminated as well. So haven't gone for the hot dog yet, Sean. But you've cleaned out the. There you go. There you go. He's not going for a hot dog. He cleaned out the burger and fries there. Sean, a very healthy eater. Couple fries left, it looks like. He's finishing those off, but we'll keep you updated on the play-by-play of Sean Goodwin's post-game. Sick Modern says go for the glizzy. So just don't eat the pretzels with cheese. They sometimes do bring those by, but I didn't see the pretzels with cheese today. Sometimes they have a whole cart with chicken strips, all kinds of stuff, but Boise once again struggled with the press late. Yeah, Keene did turn the ball over there at one point on that, but Victor says I'll drink a cold one with you. All right, so I'm hoping that we can help really get some awareness for Sun Cruiser, and I'd love to have some people that have never had Sun Cruiser go get some and have your first one with us on the pregame show and during the game on Saturday. So go find some Sun Cruisers. They got them at Ridley's, other grocery stores in town. You can get the tea version, lemonade tea, I recommend, or just the variety pack of the just the vodka lemonades with the strawberry lemonade, all the different flavors and stuff. So check out Sun Cruiser, and we appreciate Sun Cruiser, the Sun Cruiser Studios. That'll be Saturday. Looking forward to that Saturday broadcast at 5:30 will be our pregame show, 5:30, 6 o'clock with the broadcast. Join us here on Bronco Nation News. But again, Sun Cruiser. Pick up a Sun Cruiser, let the good times cruise. And again, Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. Check them out, Lithia Ford Boise, online at lithiafordboise.com. That'll do it. The Bronco Nation News post-game show presented by Jacksons. Boise State wins it 72-62. And appreciate you guys for checking us out tonight. Good viewership on a weeknight here as Boise State wins it 72-62 on a Tuesday night here. So 2 wins in a row. Broncos will go on the road to Fresno on Saturday. Appreciate you guys. I'll be on tomorrow morning. That'll be, I believe, a solo show tomorrow morning on a Wednesday, and we'll talk about this game some more and get closer to Saturday's game. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking us out. We'll see you Saturday, but certainly we will see you on BNN Live, presented by Lithia Ford of Boise tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Again, go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. I'll have a story up. Nathan's going to have a story up. And if you missed any part of the postgame show, we'll get the interviews with Leon Rice and the players posted as well. And that'll do it. From courtside, Sun Cruiser Studios, Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. This has been the Jacksons Postgame Show. Again, get that 99-cent coffee or hot chocolate day or night. 99 cents at Jacksons. You can get the Sun Cruisers. They sell the big 25-ounces at Jacksons. Make sure you get the lemonade tea. They have the classic iced tea by itself. I'm not a huge fan of that. If you like tea, go for it. But if you're not a big tea fan, go for the lemonade iced tea. They sell those in the 25-ounces at Jacksons. It's the yellow lid. Or what I would recommend is just the straight vodka lemonades, no carbonation. They have the variety pack. You get a couple strawberry lemonades, a couple pink lemonades, a couple lemonades, and you get 2 of the lemonade teas to try out as well. So that's what I would say. Regular iced tea flavor is great. There you go, Tyler. Appreciate that. So we'll see you Saturday, but first we'll see you tomorrow morning. Go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. You can read all of our coverage there, and we'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bronco Nation News Live after a 72-62 win. This has been the Jacksons Postgame Show. Appreciate you guys. And we'll talk to you tomorrow morning on Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. Take care, everybody.